So player housing releases December 2nd. However, we have a little bit of an earlier access right now going on the alpha to try things out. So I'm in the Orgrimmar portal room. The Alliance portal room has the same thing. You'll notice that there's now a teleport to Razorwind Shores. For the Alliance, it would be whatever the name of their housing development is. Can't remember right off the top of my head, though. Not that I think the name matters all too much. I do like the classic loading screen. I suspect it's not going to stay that way, though. So you'll end up kind of... This is Razorwind Shores. It's actually low-key. I think way more beautiful than the Alliance option. I think the Alliance houses, like externally, maybe are less mud-huddy than the Horde houses are. So if you prefer that, that makes sense. But the actual zone, which... Let me just kind of fly up so you can get some scaling on the zone here. But if you actually, like, fly around, you can see... Check that out. Like, check out the actual, like, scaling of this neighborhood. It's huge. It's huge. So the first thing you'll do is you'll meet this Tauren. There's this guy right here, Cloudhide, and he'll help you pick out a home. So you'll talk to him, and you'll go, okay, I want to find a house, and you'll see the open houses right here. Now my house, I think, is like down this area, so I'm just gonna visit this one, right? You'll actually visit the house. You can't buy them from Toko himself. You actually have to go to the property to see the housing location, which is nice because then you know exactly where you're placing your house down at. Right now, the housing costs seem to be pretty cheap on the alpha. I don't know if that's going to change. It's only 1,000 gold. Could go up, could go down. I don't suspect, though, Blizzard wants gold cost to really be an inhibitor for housing. I think they just wanted to feel like you're having a transaction and actually buying a house. So my house is right here, I think. I'm not getting kicked out. Normally you get kicked out. The deep... Oh, yeah, that was not my house. Do I not have one? I thought I lived here. I did try selling my house earlier, and it didn't work. And I wonder if it finally kicked in. All right, so I sold my house. Kind of bugs out. Sorry, Alpha's being a little weird. I accidentally sold it right before we went on. Or did I sell it while I was filming? I don't know. Either way, things are a little buggy. They're not quite working correctly. There's this teleport to plot button. I wonder if it'll send me to the Alliance house that I have. Let's check that out. There we go. So take me to my Alliance house. It did allow me, by the way, I want to note here, even though it's bugging out for me right now, it did allow me to have both an Alliance and a Horde home. It did not allow me to have 2 or 3 of them individually, but one Alliance and one Horde simultaneously was allowed. Now, this is the inside of the home. It seems kind of hectic, chaotic, because I was messing around with it. I was trying different things out, but they didn't quite work. As you can tell, this fireplace in the doorway. The cleanup brush isn't always working on Alpha, so normally this would clean something up. So what we're going to do to clean up, we're just going to edit the floor plan. As you can see here, we're just going to delete all of it. And I don't know if this is going to end up in the recording or not. Probably not. Possibly. I don't know how much I care. So we're back inside the house. I set up a little octagon room here just so we could test things out, try things out. First and foremost, walls, floor, ceilings. They're not always saving correctly on the alpha, I imagine. Again, it's buggy, so I imagine it'll work correctly. But if I were to click on a wall, I can choose the wall style. So let's say we want to go like Night Elfy. We'll do Belemeth, right? And then we'll do a Belemeth softwood, and we'll hit style for all of them. And now they all match. What I could also do is we could say, you know, we want the Belemeth wall style. We're going to go folk stucco on the wall, right? And now you have the wood, but you have a different, like, actual texture to the wall itself. So the framing and the finish on the wall can be 2 different kind of things. We can go with, like, a stone, and we can kind of apply that to all of them as well. Let's do the stucco, though, because I think that looks nice. And then we'll do the same over here. We'll switch it to the Belemeth with the folk stucco. Yeah. Same thing with the floor. So you can change the floor up. We could do flagstone, rugged wood. You got the Silver Moon mosaic thing. Silver Moon stuff. I love the Blood Elf aesthetic. Sometimes it can be a little too much. It doesn't always blend with the other things, right? Everything else kind of blends together in some degree. I don't know how much the Silver Moon one blends. Now, the reason why I did the Octagon room, though, is because the Octagon room, I believe, is the only one I saw that allows me to have a vaulted ceiling. There we go. a vaulted ceiling. The rest did not allow me to have vaulted ceiling. So I thought that was cool. And I like that. I like that about it. So we have the room. It's a little dark in the room. So if we want to add some more light into here, what we're going to do is we're going to take our windows. You'll see each one of these objects has a number next to it. That number is because you're limited in how many objects you have. So we're going to put a window, and we'll just slap a window right there. I'm not going perfect. I could take forever trying to line things up just right. And I was definitely doing that in the horde house that I sold. Rip. But there's so much customization, and the only thing I'm a little disappointed with on the alpha is that you don't have. Let's take this pillar. So you don't have a. Oh, I want to place it just right. So if I want to do that, I know I got distracted. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm actually going to take this, and I can. Put it back. And what I want to do is I can just move those bars right. So I can look at it and just kind of move it till it's exactly where I want it to be, right? I can get it just perfect. All right, which is cool. I think that's a nice touch that they allow you to have that level of control. How you place things. I could also come over here and scale it. So I can go, oh, you know, I actually want a small pillar. Or I could say, no, I actually want it to be like a big feeling pillar right in the middle of the room. And I don't know. I don't know if I actually want that. I might not want that. So let's see if we can get it maybe somewhere in the middle like that. That feels good. That feels good. So there's a lot of cool options. What I was saying, though, about the alpha that I wish they did is I wish they gave us a lot more options for furniture and stuff. But I guess they want to keep some of it a secret. Some of it a surprise. They want to let you discover things. So there's not a ton of furniture options, which means very quickly I was running out. I didn't try and dye anything. I did see the option. Right, if I click this, it does give me dye slots. I never actually tried. Oh. 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 What's... Okay, so that's how we control. So there actually are a good number of coloration options that you could go with. So we could dye that. You come back to the wood and maybe do like something that matches the Belemeth wood color, right? And then go to the metal. And maybe a little more silvery, like the Belemeth, right? And all of a sudden, now very quickly, I didn't even try that. Wow, I don't know why I didn't try it before. But very quickly, we can apply it. Oh, it didn't save. Okay, so it did. Welcome to alpha, right? Nothing works, but when it does work, it's really cool. I'm just going to do a quick, like, see what happens if I apply. Nope, it won't save. Oh, it says I'm missing the dye. So we at least get to see what's possible, even if it's not letting me actually color things right now with the dye. These big green squares are just like elven doors and things. If we want to do that instead. The doors are actually cool. I will show that. Let's say we came to our floor plan, right? And we said, you know what? I want to put a... Well, I was going to put a closet here, but we have other rooms. So let's say we put a small room. Just a small little square room right there, right? So we come back out. Naturally, it wants to do a big doorway. What we can do, though, is we can come over to the customize mode, click it, and we can go to a standard doorway like that. Now, once we switch to the standard doorway, the Belemeth one's a little odd because the door has kind of the natural arch to it. So if we come inside, we might be able to go away from the Belemeth wall if we try something. No, it won't work. Anyways. The problem with the Belemeth door is that if I try to put a different door in that way, so we go to the door. Oh, where's the door I just seen? I feel like oh, it was the Elven one, right? So we take this and we try to line up perfectly. It kind of struggles, but let's just put it there, right? Oh, he's gone. I think it's there because I see the... Anyways, okay, now there's a bug door. Alpha. So, all let's say, though, normally you'd be able to put doors in. Let me see if I can clean that up. Oh, there we go. It'll let me clean that up. Let's try it with... There should be another door. I don't know if I'm limited because I have other furnishings in another place. Accent structural. Let's try structural. Now you'll see these doors, but these are like the front doors. So these are actually kind of limited. And you're not really, those will take you back outside. Oh. I guess that's how I can just do a standalone doorway. See how that doorway has the actual, like, anyways, flat sides and not the rounded sides. Doors. I guess I've used all the other doors in other buildings. Like the one I apparently sold. But anyways, you could put a door here, theoretically, which is pretty cool. So I think I've gone through most things, right? If we wanted to, we could come over and rotate. So we can kind of rotate that around, or we could well, so I can grab it from a different angle. There you go. Now you can really see. Like you can really rotate it. Do whatever you want with it. I've now messed it up a little bit. Maybe we'll just get rid of that. If we want to, we can place down. Let's say we place down this floor lamp, right? So as you see, we place down the floor lamp. And now it's going to add this like warm ambient light into the room. We can do the same thing. Oh, we can do the same thing with this chandelier. We want to kind of try and place it somewhere up there. Now, as you can see, it's hard to get those placements right. So what we're going to expand this because I want like a big chandelier. And then we're going to come back to our positional movement tools. I just find these to be the most efficient for actually getting what you want. Is like an undo button. I just want like a Control Z. Like just give me a Control Z option. So the moment something goes wrong, I can just Control Z it away and not think about it and continue on with my day. So you can see those things cast light into different areas. The windows also cast light, but they're casting this more of a blue glow. I'd love to see if there's more options in the future. Again, a lot of what I'm saying is like, oh, I hope there's more options one day. But that's the reality of it. The reality of it is we're just testing the very basics of the system. They're going to have a lot of time to build upon this. My gut tells me that this is going to be a major feature within World of Warcraft. Oh gosh, is my chandelier crooked? Wow. However, that's player housing in a nutshell. Let me just show you real quick though, since we had gone... Am I not? Oh, there we go. Since I had shown you the Horde location, let me just show you the Alliance location real quick. It's pretty sick. So I kind of picked a little spookier area, kind of like a Duskwood vibe type thing. But if you head out, you'll see it's very like Elwyn Forest inspired. Pretty standard. It's what you expect. This is what you expect. I think that the structures are cool, but man, dude, the Horde neighborhood, Blizzard, good work. Like, I know that was the one everybody's like, I don't want to live in the mud huts. Totally get that. Totally understand that. Hopefully there's other options in the future. But the actual, like, scenic location with the beaches and all the cool structures and the almost even jungle-esque vibe in some spots, like tropical jungle vibes, really cool. Really cool. My personal opinion with player housing, though, is that it's looking really good. We're in the alpha. Of course, there's going to be some problems. Of course, there's going to be some issues. But I suspect they will be resolved. And even if they simply just fix some of those problems and ship it without having anything else beyond what you saw today, I would still spend so much time in the housing editor just messing around. And the fact that I'm not creating a house and then that house is like just some random spot in the world that no one will ever see, but my player housing is like actually like interacting with my friends and location. Oh, I got teleported out again. But like locationally in a spot that like people can interact together is really cool. That actually brings up one last point I will say. I don't love that the default option is people can't go on your property. I think Blizzard should change that. And I know some people are like, oh, but by default, I want to make sure I have my privacy. Totally understand. I think the default option should be that people can't wander into your house unless you turn that on, which you can. The option's there already. But they can, by default, at least walk onto the land, right? Because what's happening here is like the moment you go onto someone's land, you just get teleported off. And it's actually really annoying as a player. Which, if somebody's like, no, I'm building my like private space, I don't want anybody walking into that. Cool. Understand. I get it. At the same time, though, the gameplay of, oh, I got too close to a player. player house. I'm getting teleported away again. I'm walking around. Oh, teleported away again. I don't love that, and I would suspect most people by default aren't going to turn on the no going on my property at all option. Maybe the don't go in my house option, but probably not the don't go on my property at all option. There are also flight paths within the player housing area too. So if you're not a huge dragon riding fan, but you still want to go over to your friend's house, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 flight paths available for you to go to, which is, quite impressive. Quite impressive. My name is Swaglock. I create all sorts of content here on YouTube, so you can get more. But I also host a podcast called The Warband, and we post episodes every single week. It's a wonderful podcast. So if you're looking for more World of Warcraft content, go check that out. See ya.